Oh, hello there, SCP Foundation staff, especially those based out of Site-42. Good to see you. Welcome to another anomalous broadcast from Site-42, this time a Dr. Sherman's office hours. We are at 11:30 a.m. at Site-42 time. Oh, yeah, I'm feeling the pain of that. And we're expecting to go for the average of our 3-hour office hours, so welcome to the very start. You're right on time. Congratulations. Zerdrin, Site-44, and Leaf. Good to see you guys in the chat. Thank you for being members. Bored as Hell, Plague Interpreter, and Chris. Good to see y'all as well, but just for the sake of it. Drowsy, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being a member. And, theater class. All right, we'll see you after class. Make sure you're getting a good education. I'm going to enjoy my, breakfast. Leaf, you are sick. Oh, my. Get over the medical and then get some rest. Take care of yourself. Dr. Sherman, what is your favorite SCP you have made? You know, it's very hard to choose between my children, basically, the stories I've written. But I think today my current mood is for The Ballad of Barry Allen by Jim's Big Iggio is the song that inspired me to write SCP-5886, and I'm feeling very The Flash about it. So let's call 5886 my favorite of my articles for today. The answer will probably change next time you ask me. Jonathan, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being the first donation of today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some apple cider on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, how would you contain an alatrion? An alatrion, huh? Well, I don't know what an alatrion is, but I can certainly take a quick peek and see what I find. Alatrion. So this is from Monster Hunter World. Sorry for the earthquake. It's dragon-shaped, as many things are, especially around Site-42 for some reason. We get a lot of dragons. Not a channel. This is a smoothie. We're health conscious here, especially since we can't work out with the broken ankle. So I need to eat healthy things to balance that out. On top of which, the reason we're very, very early today is because I've got my MRI over at Medical to see if there's anything they can do to help my ankle, so fingers crossed. Meanwhile, this Alatrion, it has fire, ice, thunder, and water elements, and dragon elements. It can probably fly. So for dragons like this, usually we have to work out some sort of plan to keep them locked in their cave, or we need to set up some sort of thaumaturgical barrier, i.e. magic, that would lock them down. That is how entities like this typically work. And especially since Monster Hunter is a game about catching and, well, usually killing monsters, which we don't appreciate. We prefer containing the anomalies, not actually destroying them, because then we can't research them. But that being said, yeah, I'm going to go with magic and, I don't know, throw a big net over it if we're hunting it. How did you end up with the nickname Sherwin Williams? Not bad. I haven't heard that one in a while. You go through life with the name Sherman, you get a lot of nicknames. That one, especially when they had a very popular commercial jingle, got that one all the time. Good morning, Dr. Sherman. Is there a godlike SCP that is afraid of its own powers and accidentally destroying the world? Asking for the purpose of OC creation. So you're gonna want to go onto the wiki database, and let's start at SCP-343 for the tags. Because I believe if we go into the tags here, we're gonna see the tag reality bending below the article. And when we go to reality bending, we get about 568 pages on the SkipNet database tagged with the phrase reality bending. Now, let me just go on a small tangent for you here. A lot of people complain about SCP, the casual, not really even fans, because they're like, oh, SCP is nothing but reality benders and world enders now, and everyone's trying to do power scaling. And they're ridiculous because A, they don't read the wiki, and B, the SCP authors mostly hate power scalers, like so much. We're about stories and writing, not about power scaling. Now me, I enjoy a good death battle from time to time. It's fun to knock your action figures together. I got no hate, but it's not a thing that SCP authors write SCPs for the purposes of power scaling. There's no evidence to that. That being said, if you consider that there's something like 9,000 SCP articles right now on the English wiki, and less than 600 of them are considered reality bending in any way, then that tells you that it's what? 9,000 divided by 600. I'm trying to get like a percentage. Is that like 5%? 7%? 9,000 over 568. Let's be accurate since I'm using a calculator anyways. So yes, it's 15% of articles are listed as reality bending. And that's not reality benders. That's also a lot of objects and things. Long story short, it is not that many that are that powerful. People just don't read the wiki and then they think they're all smart. And I do not like that arrogance. I prefer my kind of arrogance where I read the wiki so I know things. That being said, you want to know about, so yes, read through the reality benders. I'm sure you'll find one that's a reluctant one, and that'll help your plan, Cassie. Charlie 10 Pro, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a nice cream on your way past the commissary. If you took a recording of yourself looking at a camera, then show 096 the footage, would it attack? Not he. SCP-096 is an anomaly. It is an it. Anomalies are objects, not people. So 096 is not a he, it's an it. Get your pronouns right. Come on now. Then, so if you took a recording of yourself looking at a camera, so looking at my camera, and then showed that to 096, no. Because 096 seeing your face doesn't cause it to attack. You seeing its face causes it to attack. And because we know that it can sense when you've seen its face all the way on the other side of the planet, it is not Oh, some eyes looked at my face, that's it. 096 consents when its face is in your brain somehow. We don't know how. It's an anomaly for a reason, but that's what it can do. So 096 is not going to be tricked by a picture of a person looking at it or this recording idea. It is going to only know if your brain is percolating the image of its face. So, nice, really roundabout testing method, but the answer is no. Cooper Corp, thank you for donating twice to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some cake at the commissary because it's your birthday today. Happy birthday to you, Cooper Corp. This looks like an interesting thing. What is this? An Ancient Mowl, good to see you. Thanks for being a member. Good to see you in the chat. On the setting of the SCP Foundation official and unofficial hub pages and resources, including compilation lists, open to contributions from any site member. Note that even the official guides can. Star Dreams, I don't exactly understand what you're going for yet, but I assume you're going to add to that message somehow. So I'll try and keep an eye out. Jokes on the fans, I was never really reading the wiki. Not a channel, no! No, don't be one of those. Don't do it. Jonathan, thank you for donating again. How would the Foundation contain a tune, i.e. Bugs Bunny or Steamboat Willie? I wonder if this has anything to do with the Wile E. Coyote / Tomcat death battle coming up. I pay attention to the internet. I know what's hip. I know what's cool. I believe... You know what? I bet we have some tunes in there. Let me take a look. And in the meantime, Amber, good to see you in the chat. Thanks for being a member, and congratulations at a free day off of work. And, Toasty, I'm just getting into the SCP fandom. Is there any place you would recommend to start? Well, you're here, so that's a good starting point because I'm going to... Essentially, the best way to get into SCP is the same way you get into something like comics, which is way too vast to know where to start. And it's, you find friends and people you like in the community, and if you trust their taste, then you start looking at the things they like. And then you let that spiral off into whatever you're going to find afterwards. So, for me, at least I'm pretty sure, because I don't actually remember. I've been in the SCP community for like 12 years now, 12 to 13 years. And I don't remember how I got here. And I don't know who's keeping me here. But anyways, I think I probably heard about it from Markiplier playing Containment Breach. And that being said, I would see the original SCPs and then wiki walk from story to story to story, learning more as I go, just enjoying the setting. So the big deal is don't try and read everything. People are crazy who are like, oh, I'm going to read every SCP in order. Don't do that. It's the wiki's not written for that. It is a Garam fan fiction website. You're not supposed to just read every story one at a time. So yes, find people, content creators, friends in the community, and read what they like, and then use those as springboards to the next thing. And then you're giving articles to people, and they're giving articles to you, and everyone's sharing and reading more stuff. It's very cool. So to answer Jonathan Peters' question finally, tunes like Bugs Bunny or Steamboat Willie. SCP tune logic. Let's see what I find. I can't think of a tune off the top of my head. Can you guys in the chat think about any SCP tunes? Any Tune Logic SCPs? Because I actually can't think of one. While I wait for chat to answer that, I'm going to look at some things. Do you love men? Site 42. Well, Jamal, I believe in the brotherly love between all men and its ability to pierce the heavens and bring everyone greater fruition. So in that sense, yes, I love all men and women and people. How long is left on today's stream? Gamer, we are streaming for another 2 hours and 45 minutes. We just got started. Amber, George the Chinchilla is a cartoon, that's true, but really it doesn't do a lot of Tune Logic kind of things. It replicates and it acts like a cartoon, but it doesn't do the Tune Logic things, like pulling hammers out of hammer space, or being basically invincible. Jonathan, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that, because I actually don't know much about that for the wiki. Someone mentioned the Nintendo Zapper, and that seems to be SCP-674. When it's fired at a video screen, the user perceives that he or she has fired a shot into the display screen. Any physical object within the screen, live or recorded, will react appropriately to the context. So you can shoot at TV shows as if you were actively shooting into the TV shows. And it even ends in a Star Trek parody. Interesting. Not exactly... I mean, it does say cartoon logic in the article, but it's not really Tune Logic in the proper sense. I'm going to think about that and see what I find, Jonathan. Let's come back to that later. Uh, 3640, you say? Sorry, I got another chat guessing it may be some Tune Logic. Did I type that wrong number? 3640. Again, I transposed 2 digits, and I ended up not at all where I wanted to be. Why isn't it taking me to the article? Tourist brochures. Doesn't really... It's called House of Mouse, but it's not really toony, and in fact, it's a little more, It's not really giving the vibes. Yeah, we'll come back to that later. Something will come up. Valerie Redacted, hey, first time tapping into a stream. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, too. I am answering your SCP questions. I am your SCP educator for the day. We'll come back to Tune Logic when I have a little more information on hand. In the meantime... America. Well, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some apple pie on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, can you send some stuff over to my office in Sector V, Room 7? There's a box with lots of SCP facility cards of all access levels. Help. Well, I guess I don't need to send them any help. I guess they're good. Or bad. Either way, they're taken care of. Lil Ghost does stuff. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some Jelly Bellies on your way past the commissary. Do you have any good advice for memorizing SCP numbers and not accidentally mixing them up? Or is it just one of the things you just have to know? It's like learning names. You've got to practice it. and even I get things wrong from time to time, or I flip numbers. The more you like an article and know it, the more it sticks in your head. And the more times it's repeated, the more it sticks in your head. For instance, hey chat, what is that SCP that I had a crash out over at the end of one stream because there was something to do with mushrooms based on us having a conversation about the show, Common Side Effects. Now let's wait for the delay for chat to show up and see what they answer. Frogman, the first one to successfully say 8123, followed up by Amber closely. See, we had such a memorable moment trying to remember 8123 that it stuck. So repetition, talking about SCPs and their numbers a lot so you get used to memorizing them. The more you remember, the more you converse about it, the more they stick. But remember, there's several thousand numbers. Don't expect to get them all. I have watched for years, but I never had the money to donate to say thank you. Well, Crazy One Official, I just happened to catch your name in the sea, and you're welcome / thank you for watching. I'm glad you enjoy the videos. Leona, thank you for donating twice for your first donation today. Make sure to grab yourself some blueberry waffles on your way past the commissary. Not Friday, but I'm moving to my new house Saturday. Oh, congratulations. That is quite a victory. Would containing a VTuber be the same as a toon? No, because a VTuber is more limited. A toon, if there was a toon entity, whether it's in a cartoon like Bobble the Clown, where it's somewhat limited and restrained by being in the TV, although it can bring you into the TV, versus like an actual toon character living in the real world with us, that leads to a lot of different issues than a VTuber, where we're dealing with more of a signal boosting anomaly, something that's trying to spread a signal. So that means we're going into disinformation campaigns, we're shutting down streams, we are deleting websites. That's much easier to deal with than a Bugs Bunny entity that can do whatever the hell it wants. As long as it's funny. Jonathan, thank you for donating again. Upon my research, they seem to have they have a form of quasi-reality bending colloquially known as Toon Force and can seemingly be killed with paint thinner. Ah yes, researcher Doom told me about that. So I assume, yes, let's just say without any reference to the wiki, you're basically dealing with you stick them in a straitjacket and throw them in the room, because when they're in the straitjacket, it tells them in their brain that they're insane, and so they just sit there with spirally eyeballs and they don't move. So that's how we do it. Junior Researcher Sally, Aoki, and good to see you guys in the chat. Thank you for being members. You're not that late. And it's just that I started early. We are only 23 minutes into stream. Robin, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a chili dog on your way past the commissary. Finally got my ANC headphones, and the quiet is so good when compared to the usual noise in my life. I do very much enjoy my noise-canceling headphones. When I first got introduced to that, I was just like, ooh, oh, the peace. Edward, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being a member, and don't worry about being late, guys. The consequences are minimal. The punishments are not that bad. Also, you gotta take your Nestix, Dr. Sherman. You're on 055 duty. Director Marion Wheeler's orders. Do we have an 055? But, huh. Interesting. Okay. Those will kick in eventually. Green Bottle, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a smoothie on your way past the commissary. I see you deleted your message, so I don't know what you asked, but thanks for the donation anyways. Dr. Pepper Dragon, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a bacon cheeseburger on your way past the commissary. Hey boss, about the missing items from last week. Well, we found the auto-updating Simpsons VHSs in the D-class dorms. I'm tempted to let them keep them. They've been better behaved since. It's your call. It's against protocol, but with our current resource issues, it would be good if we didn't have to replace D classes for bad behavior, so I'll look the other way just this once. Leuna, thank you for donating again. How well would SCP-5031 do on Iron Chef? So, 5031's skill at cooking has increased so rapidly. Based on what I have seen of the Iron Chef contestants and what kind of meals they put together, I do believe that 5031 would compete on an equal or greater level to the Iron Chef contestants. The problem is when you look at it, it disappears. So it's not exactly going to do well on camera. So there's that. Why are there so many people in chat so down bad for the SCPs? Killian, I super agree with you. It is very frustrating as a proper rule-following doctor to deal with all of these demon daters and monster fuckers that get hired here at the Foundation. Of course, it's those kind of people who take the job when they're hired. You're right, Zerdrin, I am #annoyed and asexual about it. But we got to cope with what we can do, punish those who break the rules. We do not fraternize with the anomalies. Silent Follower, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a cup of golden monkey tea on your way past the commissary. Just out of work, hello. Well, I hope you had good work. And welcome to stream. We're just getting started. We're about 30 minutes in. Officer Beep Sky. SCP-999 does not follow toon logic. It is just a slime. If anything, it follows more D&D logic. Samuel, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a latte on your way past the commissary. Your doppelganger from 1691 broke out with several D-class doppelgangers under his command. Uh-oh. Don't need an extra me running around. The site can barely handle one as is. Mirrored writing. Honestly, I find this interesting that they did a mirror world entity, but they did it with a revolving door instead. Very cute change on the concept. Okay. Well, we better get a team in there, and you know I'm here in the lab, so if you see me out of the acoustics lab, shoot on sight. Wavy Sloth the Seconds, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. There's a person with an upside down face. Is that an SCP? I do think we have an SCP with an upside down face, actually. I would not be shocked if that's one of the things we have. SCP upside down face. Yeah, that's SCP-3440, the man with the upside down face. Yeah, totally. That's an SCP. Good guess. It looks like you're blind. It does. It does look like I'm blind. I can tell because my monitor for the acoustics lab is up here. So yes, I do have to look up at the screen. So I do look blind when I'm looking at the screen. That is fair. I see what you mean. Chest to Factory, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a pancake on your way past the commissary. Do you greenlight ideas at all? I do not. I am not on the greenlight team. And even though I am an SCP author who would be allowed to greenlight ideas, I do not have the time to deliberate on them because I have so many people sending me things all the time. Please don't abuse my business email. It's against the rules. So I do not encounter SCP objects on stream or in videos unless they are canon to the SCP Wiki already. I don't deal with the green lights. I leave that to the greenlight team. Trust me, they're better at it than I am anyways. Username Boo, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a cherry pie slice on your way past the commissary. SCP-049 has escaped, sir. No, you don't gotta worry. SCP-049 is currently on a mission with a mobile task force. They have agreed to help out in return for unlimited access to the gender-switching stone SCP-113. So as long as 049 follows the rules, we have no problems. So no, the cell's empty, but it's on purpose. Caroline Dreamer, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a hot cat on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Sherman, I put my request in waiting to hear back from the higher-ups about experimenting with safe class objects. Wish me luck. Oh, good luck. I hope you wrote a good thesis to convince them. Samuel Corelli, thank you for donating again. What about the other doppelgangers with it? Oh yeah, if there's anyone with that Dr. Sherman, shoot them too. We do not need doubles of all of us coming around, so just Jonathan, thank you for donating again. Subject, Project Numa, results, BCC, Dr. Theron Sherman. We found an entity within the human psyche that seems to cause and feed on our pain. Harden your hearts, as we are going to war with humanity to contain it. Oh, jeez. All right, I'm going to keep an eye on that. I have a bad feeling about that. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. Forgive me for intruding, but how'd the appointment go? You mentioned it last stream. Yes, actually, the reason that we are streaming so early today is because the MRI for my ankle is later today. So I started early, that way I could run off and take care of that. So we will know more tomorrow, I hope. Or however long it takes them to give me the results after I get my pictures taken later. Drowsy, welcome back. Hope you had a good class. Junior Researcher Sally, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Dr. Sherman, what do you think about SCP-8021? 8021... I am unfamiliar with SCP-8021. Let's have a quick scan. It is considered self-contained, although it's Keter. How Keter also self-contained? Keter means difficult to contain, but it is self-contained. Either that's a flaw, or it's a really good hook to get me curious as to what's going on. We'll see what happens. Alright, any means of neutralizing its effects are unclear at present. Anomalies primarily handled by Department of Horology. How immature. How immature, I apologize. But, Director of Horology? Oh! Great way to insult someone if they are annoying you. Oh yeah, I bet you work for the Department of Horology. Alright, I'm done being a child. Let me get back to this. I assumed it was the study of time YouTube watcher. I was just being immature. Alright, so terrible, terrible jokes aside. SCP-8021 is the apparent reduction of time passing in the universe. 8021 supposes that the universe is moving at a rate slow enough to appear completely suspended to entities outside of locals, time, and space. No noticeable difference is apparent to those within the parameter of 8021. The basis of this is supported by a number of sources, including the sudden presence of anomalies and environmental alterations located throughout the United States. So due to time slowing down, we are basically in a stasis while the rest of the universe moves at a normal pace. That's pretty cool. The world has ended and it's my fault. Oh boy. Elizabeth at Redacted, studied Redacted. I am probably the one who fucked everything up. I don't know how, but it's the only explanation I have. Okay. So, time is frozen. Huh. This is giving very much 5886 vibes. It's a journal of a person who is stuck in time. And, ooh, it's rather long. Huh. I'll have to go through this off stream, but I'm already interested in the concept based on what the starting things I see here are. Let me really quickly peek at the discussion. Okay, that's interesting. It's a little too deep for me to read right now, but I like the concept on its face, so I'll see how they handle it. Percy, welcome to Site 42 subscribership. Welcome to staff. Meanwhile, Noel, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being a member. Silent follower, thank you for donating again. Hope all goes well. Me too. Hopefully this MRI is a waste of time and I am going to heal naturally and don't need any crazy surgeries or anything. That would be nice. America. Sherman, it's long. Me, that's what she said. See, that's the kind of immaturity that I wanted a little bit of, but we can't go too far with. But nice. Samuel, thank you for donating again. Do you have an update on the retrieval of 2818? If I'm remembering right, we were talking about that because that was stolen by someone who was bartering. Yes. So no, those have been listed as lost in the field at this point because of the metaversal things we are dealing with at getting them back for that entity. So that is that's just a loss at this point. Hello, Dr. Sherman. I'm here for my break time, then back to researching different SCPs. Well, DJ, that is what these office hours are for. You come in, you ask a couple questions, you enjoy your break, you lean back, you chill. There you go. So enjoy your break. We'll chit-chat, we'll educate ourselves on the SCP Foundation, and then back to work. SCP-6080 is in real life Toy Story. Run, it's alive. Is it just a box of living toys? It's very intense music for a box of living toys. Let's try something a little less aggressive. Oh, it's an Eric anomaly. I don't hear enough about Eric these days. Eric was a very prominent anomaly creator in the early wiki. Sort of a kid version of Dr. Wondertainment. Whereas Dr. Wondertainment's a company and a mascot that makes toys. Eric was just a kid bringing his toys to life, and it was kind of lower key. So yeah, when you hear the name Eric at the Foundation, it is not just some dude. It is an actual person of interest. And it's a living box of toys. Cool. Man, what happened to short articles? Y'all write so much. So much. Come on, son. Ay, caramba. Quick question, Dr. Sherman. What happens if a site worker turns out to be anomalous, asking for no particular reason? Well, if an SCP Foundation employee turned out to be anomalous and we were not informed, then there's only two things that could have happened. Either, due to some sort of experiment, they became anomalous, in which we would have to put them away for testing, or they hid their anomaly with us when they were hired, at which point they were a traitor to the Foundation, and the interrogation is going to be a little less kind. So, yeah, tread carefully. Dr. Sherman, the researcher who clipped into the Red Reality, came back, and he only lost a finger. That doesn't make sense. That is a whole body acid bath. What do you mean, only lost a finger? Weird. Untrustworthy weird. Zerdrin, I'm going to turn the outer wall of my containment cell to cheese. I'm going to be real with you, bro. Do not use SCP-1600, the Philosopher's Cheese, to turn the wall of your cell into cheese. Because first of all, that's just a breach of containment protocols. You wouldn't want to breach containment protocols, would you? Secondarily, the Philosopher's Cheese turns anything into cheese, yes, but that cheese tastes like whatever it was. Why would you want wall-flavored cheese? Could you not get something better to turn into cheese besides a wall? I mean, also, the Philosopher's Cheese is not a stone, in case you're confused. The Philosopher's Stone is a vial of liquid that you pour on something to turn it into cheese. The SCP-1600 documentation is right there for your research as needed. Is it limited? 1600-1 is an odorless dark yellow liquid recovered in 1998 from MC&D facility in Boston. Chemical analysis has shown it to be a compound of sulfur, mercury, and several unidentified elements. Foundation currently possesses 53 liters of SCP-1600-1. We have 53 liters of Philosopher's Cheese sauce. So it is limited, but we have a ton of it. And so we can go a little hog wild with the testing. And B, we have this liquid now. We know what it is. We know its chemical makeup. We can get more of it from 294. Yeah. Philosopher's Cheese is a permanent addition to Foundation staff meals now. Epsilon 5, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some rations on your way past the commissary. Epsilon 5, new Nine-Tailed Fox guy here. People do write too much. We love your stuff here in Ninetail Fox. Do you have the periodic sound of net sapping following you like me? So, yeah, people are chatty, that's for sure. It's hard to see the people, but you know what? We want to give our signal to the most people. That's the sacrifice we have to make. And hey, I would rather Foundation staff be wordy than quiet. You don't trust the quiet ones. Gears? Guy weirds me out. No, I want loudmouths. I want people who are thinking up here. I want people with questions and answers and thoughts and words. Junior Researcher Sid, we are currently about 45 minutes in today's stream. We are 2 hours and 15 minutes from the end of stream. Also, do you have the periodic sound of neck snapping following you like me? Well, only in that my neck crackles from the yoga and work that I do. That's a little crick, crick, crick. So that happens. Dr. Sherman, what's the deal with Dr. Gears? Dr. Gears is a lot. It's a very long story. The family is weird. Gears is weird. What I would suggest looking into is on this channel, we have Dr. Gears Declassified. Me and a buddy of mine went through every Dr. Gears story on the wiki and wrote a biography of Dr. Gears, which you can check out here on the channel. I did not, the video did not perform very well, so I did not get into the more characters like I wanted to. But hey, maybe if it finds a second life, we can do character dossiers on everybody. What would happen if you made Shy Guy and Peanut stare at each other? Peanut doesn't have eyes, so 096 wouldn't be affected. Meanwhile, 173 would continually snap 096's bones. Can I be friends with the Plague Doctor? If no, I will be anyways. And also, would a CP096 get sick if it, not he, it. Anomalies are its. What part of this don't you get? All of you. Stop humanizing the anomalies. Anomalies are not people. They are objects. They're its. They are not he's or she's or any neo-pronouns. Anomalies are its. That's all. And the answer to your question is, I don't care who or what is friends with the Plague Doctor, as long as you don't do anything that breaks protocol. And 096 and the Plague Doctor, I forget if they've had an interaction on the wiki. There's a lot of animations of people talking about this matchup as a fight. And, okay, it's canon because Dr. Sumerian and SCP Illustrated put this one on the wiki, so what does it do? Doctor produced a syringe from its bag, and it gave 096 a shot. And it made it feel better, which made it feel sad. And it didn't look at its face, so, no, actually, 049 wants to help the 096. It's canon on the wiki. Thank you, Dr. Sumerian and SCP Illustrated. Or I should say, Mr. Illustrated now, since the branding change. Dr. Pepper Dragon, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a bag of Takis on your way past the commissary. If you turn a Bible into cheese and eat it, does it bypass the condiment? Possible Vorjesus and Cheesus showdown scenario. We may need to run tests. So, I think it ends up being A, if you turn it to cheese, the condiment on the Bible also turns into cheese. So technically it's still a condiment. That being said, that would be if the Bible still counted as a Bible at all. If you turn in the cheese, then a cheese Bible is different than a regular Bible. And hell, the cheese could count as the condiment. That being said, I am curious. I would like to run this test just to see what happens, because especially Jesus is so verbose, SCP-6542. Milk Jesus, i.e. Jesus, does a lot of yapping, whereas SCP-5991, Vor Jesus, doesn't yap at all. So, I would be interested in what an interaction with them would look like. Could be fun. Dr. Sherm, did you hear they lost Annabelle? Also, I gotta go Markiplier posted. Well, we do love a Marky Moo. Although, why do I keep saying they lost Annabelle in the chat today? I've seen this a lot. Not sure what this is about. Maybe I should look this up the number of times I've seen it. I thought this channel talked about SCP, not cheese. Well, Hyder, it turns out you'd be surprised how much cheese comes up. Agent Miles, what is Vor Jesus? Vor Jesus is SCP-5991. Any person who eats a whole entire Bible without any condiments on it at all gets a visit from Vor Jesus, who eats you whole, and it transports you to a Jesus Land theme park in its stomach, which you can leave anytime. It's just the price of admission was eating a Bible without condiments. I don't know why anyone would do that, but it happened. Okay, so this is a recent story, this Annabelle doll thing. Doing a little looky-loo into what's going on here. 6 hours ago, India Today, Times of India, Newsweek, CT Insider. It's a tale of Annabelle, a Raggedy Ann doll whose legend dates back to the 70s, infamous doll. Annabelle, one of the most haunted dolls from Monroe, Connecticut, was moved to New Orleans. So streets are saying after they move Annabelle doll out of the Warren Museum, it's now gone missing. Otherwise, an investigator refuted the rumors, posting a video in which the doll was in its container. It's not missing. It's in Chicago. Okay, apparently, as of 6 hours ago, it's found. So it is, in fact, not lost. So you can all not worry. That anomaly is contained. Well, that was easier than I thought. Jonathan, thank you for donating again. Wait, can 294 be used to summon Vor Jesus via sucking the honey from a Bible? Unless you can lick honey down to a molecular level, where the honey in the binding is completely gone from the pages, and then eat the Bible, that would be a viable way to do it. But if there's anything left over, then it wouldn't count. It's very specific. No condiments at all. Lady Caroline, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a ginger beer on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Sherman, I have a new containment question for you. How would the Foundation contain Bill Cipher and Gravity Falls? I have a video about that. It's here on the channel. It is X is not an SCP, the series. Bill Cipher is not an SCP, but if it were, how would the Foundation contain it? It is on this channel. You can check it out. What is he saying about Jesus? Lord Jesus? No, Tarleton Fox. Vor Jesus. The Jesus that eats you. It's SCP-5991. Enjoy it at your own risk. Metamedic, the snapping is gear, or 4975 help. Well, Epsilon 5, thank you for donating again, and I'm going to look at 4975 to see your chances of survival real quick. Yes, that is not good for you. Make sure you stick with your team. Don't get caught alone. Dr. Sherman, a question from Dr. Helios. Is there any way to reverse a daybreak event? My universe is kind of undergoing a daybreak event, and we're getting pretty desperate, running out of food and water. I do not know of a universe that has reversed its daybreak event. I highly suggest you, on the other hand, get to another universe ASAP. Even fleeing to the Infinite IKEA would be preferable to what's going on in your universe. Can we turn SCP-682 into cheese? Mimikyu, we can use the Philosopher's Cheese on SCP-682. The problem is it does the same thing as when it was attacked by the contagious crystal, which was that it jettisoned the part of it that was infected off so that the whole didn't transform. And that being said, I don't think 682 cheese would be very tasty, so I don't even want to try that. Couldn't a daybreak theoretically be ended by whichever SCP eats stars? Well, Edward, that depends on if that thing that eats stars also wouldn't get daybroken. I'm not sure which one you're talking about, but yeah, that could be a problem. Mine Wolf, 1987, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a... Grab yourself a steak on your way past the commissary. What happens if you read the SCP entry that kills you by unlocking seals on it, but not fully? Well, if you read SCP-5999, which, fun fact, I am one of the authors on, did not do that much. I just did a little sound design, but they gave me a writing credit, or an author credit. I feel like I'm an imposter by being part of that. But, yes, I guess if you didn't unlock all the seals, then you survive. Congratulations! You chose wisely. Except now you don't get to experience that very cool article, so I guess you're missing out. Tomas, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a rice ball on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Sherman, I'm running down the Foundation hallway. If you hear a scream outside the door, don't open it. Or if you hear my voice, turn off the light. So it depends on what room you are in. There's usually switches. There's often voice commands. And the clappers are pretty fun too. And yeah, no, I'm not opening my door until the end of this coffee break / office hours. So I'm fine in my office. Jonathan, thank you for donating again. Do you mind goblins? Mind Goblin D's nuts. I see. Dr. Sherman, Junior Researcher Fare here. I just turned in my work on SCP-8221. Okay, let's see what conclusions you came up with on 8221. Ah, yes. That is the SCP article that I posted an archive of on the channel just before we started stream. So if you got the opportunity to listen to that, I can look in your commentary here to see what's happened. As Brennan Lee Mulligan says, get in the comments. Here we go. Okay, I'm seeing some good work here. Who was I just talking to? It was Faray. Where are you at, Faray? What was your name? Where are you? There you are. Got your user handle. A possible solution for learning how to create human souls could be through simply asking SCP-5094 how to. I personally volunteered as the first student to learn such things. I've been wanting to interact with Miss J for a long time now. Miss J is pretty clever, although its knowledge is fairly limited. It can't do anything. So it couldn't hurt to ask. So sure, why not? That is a low risk situation. I'd love to see Dr. Sherman on Game Changer with Brennan. I would love to try it. I would be better at actually than I would Game Changer, I think. Just because I'd have the handle of trivia. I'm good with improv, but I'm not as good as they are. But hell, I'd try it out. It could be fun. As soon as they decide that the SCP Foundation is the subject of an actually, I'm there. Chaotic, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Eva SCP, I do see your homework here in the comments. Research, souls are created by a divine being at birth. Souls are reused, not created, explains the fixed 800 million number. Some anomalies may disrupt or absorb souls, creating a human soul. Creating a human soul by exposing a fully formed artificial intelligence to intense emotional, moral, and existential stimuli within a controlled mimetic field designed to mimic the soul's core qualities. Over time, if the consciousness develops empathy, guilt, love, and independent moral agency without external programming, it may generate a soul resonance. This resonance could serve as the seed of a new soul, one not recycled, but forged through conscious emergence. Well written and thought out. Not bad. And with some of our simulations, this is not unfeasible. Well thought. Love to see Foundation researchers putting in the effort. And if you want to look into this article, 8221, it was released on the channel just 15 minutes before starting stream, and you can check it out when we're done. Tomas, welcome to Level 1 Researchership here at Site 42. We thank you for your membership as well as your service. Oh no, I've got a bad feeling about what I just saw. Oh, Tartleton Fox. Oh no. Everyone, put your respects in the chat. What the actual hell? I didn't know what vor was, so I looked it up. Oh, you poor thing. I am so sorry. What a dangerous thing you've gone through. F's in the chat, respects. Yeah, that's actually why it's so fun to bring up Vor Jesus, because it gives you that, for people who know, they get the, wait, what? Immediately. It hits. Also, oh God, I can't believe I'm even going to tell you guys about this. Oh man. If you think Vor Jesus is bad, then you are not prepared for a certain SCP. All right, before I even get to this, for those who are still questioning and don't want to look it up, it's very simple. Vor is cannibalism, but it's cannibalism in kind of a kink manner. It's people with a fetish for being eaten / eating people. Now, that already, be afraid, be terrified. And San, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being a member. Nick the Salamander, you as well. And thank you for gifting a Site 42 membership. That is what heroes do. Chesta Factory, remember to thank our buddy Nick here for your free membership. So that is what that is in the least descriptive terms I can give you. And back in the day, there was a certain SCP article on the wiki. It has since been deleted, but this was written by a member of the community who was banned. I don't know why they were banned, but it had something to do with, I don't know actually. This the writer of this article was banned, and it was a team up between this author and DJ Cactus. You know, the very prolific SCP author. DJ Cactus, creator of such greats as What Happened to Site-13 and SCP-3812, A Voice Behind Me, Sam Howell, the narratively jumping, wrote SCP-5004, the one where Donald Trump is president because of SCPs. It's crazy how many awesome SCPs DJ Cactus has written. And they teamed up with this author who was eventually banned for what used to be SCP-2678, which is called the Vor Hole. Doggy. Guys, here's a disclaimer. Do not continue if you are young or uncomfortable. Yes! Remember, the SCP Foundation is a very spooky and adultly themed horror and franchise. You should not be here if you are a child. For real. On top of which, yeah, if this kind of thing makes you actively uncomfortable, I'm not going to say much more. Just that this existed, it was crazy. And in my earlier edgelord era, I might have done an audio recording of it on the channel. And so, it's... I'm not thinking of the children's ears ring because children aren't supposed to be here. I was actually really proud of how the article came out, too. I did a good job making that thing. It was just, oh, it was a lot. Doesn't matter the subject matter. I'm good at my work. So yes, if we want to, reminds me of the time I accidentally stumbled upon your own reading of SCP-3307 with your voice. Oh, the agony. Oh my god, yeah. Cornucopia ass. That's another really gross one. But not as gross as the Vorhole. So yes, from now on, we are going to leave that behind. We'll go back to talking about the Philosopher's Cheese. All right, let's lighten the situation. SCP-729-J. You know what? I can even handle that right now. I feel like I'm immune due to worse things happening. No, Lizzie Skittles. We did not make the tree scream yet. And even that doesn't piss me off as much as everything we've gone through together at this moment. Oh, this community and channel is vast and old, and the things that happened in the past are wild. I meant wild, but it doesn't rhyme with old, so wold. Oh. You're gonna need amnestics. I'm gonna need amnestics. Dr. Pepper Dragon, thank you for donating again. In other news, Mobile Task Force Zeta 1000 is looking for temps. Why do they have that much of a number? Why are they a 4-digit Mobile Task Force? What is going on with them? Now I'm just confused. Why are you in the SCP-049 document? Carlos. It's because I was a researcher on the project. Specifically because 049 killed my buddy Raymond. So I got brought in to handle the situation. Like a boss. But honestly, it's because, again, DJ Cactus, who we were just talking about for reasons I seem to have forgotten about all of a sudden, rewrote the 049 article, again, with another banned user. Coincidentally. And the 049 article was revamped, and they asked me to do voice lines, and I did the voiceover work, and since it's the SCP community, we do all these for free. And they traded me, they put my name in the article. My username on the wiki is the Sherm. And so they made Dr. Theron Sherman as an homage to me since I did that. So that was my, that's how I ended up in the 049 article. Kahuna, have you made any SCPs before? As a matter of fact, I have, and you can read them at the Sherm's author page and Site42 Hub on the SCP Wiki. You can see the SCPs I wrote, as well as contributed to in other ways. Has-Been Lover, what is your favorite SCP? Well, I always say my favorite SCPs at the end of stream, which is approximately 1 hour and 45 minutes from now. 1 hour and 45 minutes. So if you hang out that long, you can find out. Or we can... Or you can just go back to a previous stream where I said them at the end and you can cheat like that. That's fine too, because, again, at the end of every stream. I do not often get answered or anything like that on live, so thank you. Oh, and my sister got me into your channel. Well, Lizzie, I do my best. I answer the donations because they're, direct donations. I got to be nice and thankful for that. Much appreciated, guys. But I do try to get into some of the white names as well, just to try and uphold a little bit of a balance. It's a lot, but I do my best, so I'm happy I could get you there. What is your least favorite SCP? Well, Zuckerunson, I do not like to have a not favorite SCP, a least favorite, because as an artist, I don't want there to be like a bottom list of this is the worst. It's just not how I vibe. Even SCPs I don't particularly like, I can still say that I respect the work that went into them and the quality of the articles. And that's simply because of the wiki's quality control. Because there's a community vote, nothing truly bad stays on the site. So even the stuff that I don't like is still pretty good. That being said, SCP-729-J can eat all the dicks and is terrible and is the worst. And anyone infected with SCP-022-J can get sat on by a titanium elephant. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. What a roller coaster this was. Today's stream is awesome. Awesome is a word. Whoa, watch your mouth, Dr. Sherman. Jetstream, I get it, but sometimes you just gotta say how you truly feel. And about that thing, that's how I truly feel. Oh, hey. Site42 staff, just to let you know, you have successfully gotten more likes than viewers into this stream. That is impressive, especially this early on in the stream. Good work. Let's keep hitting that like button anyways, because the more people we can drag into the hell that is the SCP fandom, the better a job we're doing. So keep hitting that like. Let's rally the troops and draft some more interns, so to speak. What is SCP-022-J? Well, Junior Researcher Corvus, just to lightly explain SCP-022-J and to try to keep my cool during it, SCP-022-J is the pure, solid form of a chemical agent commonly known as titanium. Titanium is a metal, everyone knows this, but SCP-022-J is a special metal in that it is a info hazard, a cognitohazard. And what it does is it convinces everybody who hears about titanium that it is somehow the very strongest SCP. It convinces people that they should make their containment chambers out of titanium, despite the fact that titanium, while strong for its lightweight nature, is not actually that strong. You use titanium because it is sturdy while being lightweight, like making a bicycle. You don't use it to imprison people. It's not that strong. But people decide, oh, it's the strongest metal in the world. I'll make everything out of titanium. I'll make anchors out of titanium. I'll make robots out of titanium. They'll just make anything out of titanium, even though titanium is not made for that purpose. And I feel like I'm taking crazy pills because everybody knows this, but yet still, these idiots won't do this. I'm fine. I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me, by the way. There's nothing wrong with me. I am right about this situation. The problem here is the people infected with SCP-022-J sickness. The sickness in their brains that makes them think that they're going to use titanium for some super powerful containment cell. It makes no sense. It is... I am fine. I am here. We are here. Everything's okay. No one's angry. No one is. Okay. Okay. We're good. You're right, Ensign. It's just titanium. It's just titanium. That's all there is. It's just titanium. It's just... No. No, I'm getting off this page. I don't want to see it anymore. And I'm not having the serious-ass music on because I'm not having a crash out. I'm fine. You're fine. We're fine. Ugh. Okay, where was I? Remicus Prime, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. This is for the humans of the chat. Remember to stay hydrated. And for the non-humans, remember to do your equivalent. I'm going to have my Energon. Yeah? Smoothie. Oh, having heart palpitations. Oh, gotta take a nap later. Regulate my stress. 'Twas said that furry art sites are monitored for possible George the Chinchilla instances. Using memory, sorry if I'm wrong. If someone made their fursuit a George instance, would they be possessed? I never thought of that. We've seen a couple scenarios of SCP-3086 transmission the default form in our universe is the text and drawings, whether it be on paper or on the internet. And then the speech vector caused mental possession in another universe where they made the entity mad. I'm afraid that either the fursuit would come to life or it would do the possession deal. This is worrying. I'm afraid of your creativity. That's spooky. Epsilon 5, thank you for donating again. I heard yelling. Everything okay? Dr. Sherman, 022-J. Yes, Epsilon 5. I'm fine. And the existence of SCP-022-J is fine and not causing problems for anyone. Anyone at all. It's all fine. It's all fine. The titanium is fine. Alpha Lily, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a Klondike bar on your way past the commissary. Your morning shift is my afternoon shift. Ah, the good old time and dimensional barriers for the zones. I hope you had a good afternoon shift. Is coming. Dr. Sherman, I heard you are crashing out over 022-J again. The counter is reset. I guess that's fair. I guess that's fair. I still posit that it's not a crash out if I'm right. It's fine. It's fine. After reading about that horrible teddy bear, I wish amnestics worked on me. Woof, cool man. Yeah, that 1048 is rough. That is between the ear bear and the fetus bear. Woof. I really hope they catch that thing. Remicus Prime, thank you for donating again. Be warned, we located Maximals in Nevada. They aren't dangerous, but it's starting to get difficult to keep our war contained. We're requesting immediate assistance on keeping it hidden from the public. Well, Nevada is pretty remote in a lot of places, so we'll start a disinformation campaign. That shouldn't be too difficult. That Man Gaming, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Who would win, SCP-008-J or SCP-4521? Well, 4521 is a tree, and SCP-008-J is a dude named Jeff. I guess Jeff wins because Jeff escapes SCP containment facilities by sheer dumb luck and doesn't get injured. Whereas the tree is an eternal loser until it screams. Because once it screams, then it's going to be a good tree. It'll be a natural tree. It'll be a fine tree. But without screaming, it's such a loser. A lahu, a zaher. And so that tree automatically loses. That tree sucks, and it will continue to suck until it screams. don't clip that last part. That sounded wrong. Omen Hart, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a rice ball on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Sherman, it's I again. Trying to add new SCP foods to the list, but I remember Kopi Luwak. Have any anomalous Asian palm rivets? Not to my knowledge. Could be surprising. Just to be clear, Site 52 security, it is Jeff with a G-O, not Jeff with a J. SCP. Dun, 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 dun. It looks like we don't have any of that in our database, Omen Heart, I'm sorry to say. Megatron is here, requesting backup immediately. That does sound serious, Remicus. Alright, nearest security to Nevada has to come from... Oh, okay, yeah. We can get you a couple teams from under Vegas. Perfect. You're good to go. Teams are being deployed as we speak. The other day, you said you chameleon or imitate others' accents after being around them long enough. Me and my mother do this too. It's a symptom, quote, of ADHD. Well, the SCP is a creative fandom, and I wouldn't be shocked if there's any deluge of neurodiversity among all of us, one way or another. Not shocking. Junior researcher Alex, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being a member. And don't worry about late. We did start infinitely early today. Oh, and checking the time, we are 1 hour from the end of stream, team. Just to let you know, 1 hour away from stream. Why Not Guitar? Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a... root beer float on your way past the commissary. Hope things are well. I'd sit and watch, but Foundation cars aren't going to fix themselves. Also, please remove SCP-999 from the vehicle bay, as not he, it's a slime. It's not a person. It's an it. Come on now. As it is a fluid and therefore a slipping hazard. Hoo-a-voom, it's a mill thing. Okay, yes. 999 should not be in the vehicle bay. That doesn't make sense. So, yeah, I'll send a staff member to escort it back to its containment cell. Junior researcher Corvus. The music is a bop. Well, you would enjoy the album Purple Galaxy by Kevin MacLeod. Right now, we're listening to track number 4. But I leave that on because Kevin MacLeod is our king of SCP/royalty-free music. Synthetic Lol, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a megabyte of pizza on your way past the commissary. Hello, Dr. Sherman. It's me again, back from the 05 meeting. They gave me a promotion as a birthday present. You got promoted for your birthday? That's unusual. I mean, happy birthday if it's your birthday. I'm just, What number SCP are you? Well, okay, gamer, I am not an SCP. I am a researcher. And so, I am not anomalous in any way. That's a ridiculous accusation to make, I would say. I'm just a normal SCP researcher and site director. That's all. No anomalies here. So, I don't have an SCP designation. Although you can find me in several SCP articles, such as SCP-049 and SCP-7777, where I make little cameos and hang out and do Foundation things. Jean-Baptiste Durand, thank you for subscribing to Site 42. Welcome to staff. I really want to know, Dr. Sherman, how would you react if someone made you into an SCP on the SCP Wiki? Well, that'd certainly be an interesting thing to attempt, considering I don't have any anomalous abilities, and they would have to come up with something. And I would be very interested to see what they wrote. Also, whatever they wrote would end up being integrated into my universal canon by process of everyone reading it. So that would be confusing, because that means that as a somewhat fictional entity inside your cell phone, I'm being affected by the narratives of other people outside of myself and outside of my realm of reality. And what does that mean for self-determination and the power of will? How do we deal with the fact that our backgrounds and our personages can be changed by another person a universe away? This is deep. This is dangerous. Yes, Amber, I got a pataphysics headache going, that's for sure. Gotta go, Dr. Sherman. Thanks for being the reason I got back into the SCP fandom. I'll see you later, Adrian. Thanks for joining us, and I'm happy to help out. The more, the merrier. I had to step away for a few minutes. Did the doctor happen to crash out again? No, I did not crash out again. I had an existential crisis. That's completely different. What did you do to Dr. Grimm after he squished SCP-999 a little bit too hard, just a little? That's off the security readings for a reason. We deleted those videos for a purpose. SCP-5275 is definitely one of my new favorites. A Thaumiel to Keter artificial intelligence is kind of awesome. Not familiar with 5275. So, kept a standard storage locker, kept disconnected from the internet. That's the old archive procedures. Signs of infestation. Anomalous software program. File size of 257 terabytes. That's intense. And the ability to wirelessly transfer to nearby devices connected to the same local network as the device containing it. I mean, it can, but that's such a large file size. It would take a while to make a transfer like that, wouldn't it? I mean, that's like in hackers movies where they're transferring the file and you need to unplug it before it finishes transferring. It's a program created by itself, currently circulating on Site-23's internal network. Okay, so it's infected. No communication has been established with the program. However, it's still considered to be sapient and is not infected, as it is not infected system or maintenance terminals. Only devices used by on-site researchers, especially those working with digital anomalies. Okay, so we're having conversations with the AI. It tries to benefit the Foundation and becomes Thaumiel. And it left a manifesto. Oh boy. Love when the SCPs leave us manifestos. Nothing bad happens then. Kronos. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a juicy fruit on your way past the commissary. Sentinel Paradigm Associate here, checking on the Foundation. Have you tried using antimatter against 682? Also, have you seen one of the O5 before? Well, first of all, why would we try antimatter on SCP-682? It doesn't matter. But yes, we have tried all sorts of things like that. It's 682. It's going to do what 682 do. That being said, obviously I have totally seen an 05 before. I was walking down a hallway and I saw its security walking it down the other far end of the hallway, and I saw the back of its head. I saw the back of the overseer's head. I was that close. Have you ever tried a test with SCP's 096 with 999? If they did, what were the results? Well, remember 999, unlike popular depictions where it's a small, cute little guy with eyes and a face, 999 doesn't have eyeballs. 999 is just a slime. It is slime in a rectangle shape. And so, it's not going to activate 096. It doesn't have eyeballs. And so, meanwhile, if 096 gets activated, it's going to run away faster than 999 can calm it down. So, really, there's not much to say about that. Junior researcher Alex, you really, really, really want a dad joke, do ya? You really want that, don't you? Well, I happen to have one today. What is similar between you, Junior researcher Alex, and SCP-729-J? I repeat, what is similar between you, Junior Researcher Alex, and SCP-729-J? The answer is, I don't want to hear a peep out of you. Oh! And now I wait the 30 seconds of delay for chat to react to my obviously humorous joke. It's a strange form of time dilation living 30 seconds ahead of you guys. Dr. Sherman, is 106's nickname Uncle Larry? Well, I've never heard anyone call the old man Uncle Larry. But I do hear, thanks to Agent Mark Iplier, the nickname Radical Larry. Now, I don't even know where Agent Iplier got the name Larry, or how SCP-106 is radical in any way. But that's the nickname that stuck. I hear Radical Larry all the time. In your opinion, what's the tastiest SCP? The tastiest SCP. And so here's the trick. Obviously, you could have the most delicious thing ever drank from 294, but that's what 294 makes, not what 294 is, because the vending machine itself doesn't taste that good. It's just a vending machine. The same could be said of the philosopher's cheese. You can make very good cheeses, but the philosopher's cheese liquid itself is made out of sulfur and other chemicals, so it's probably not that tasty. So what is the tastiest SCP on its face. I mean, we could easily say, no, we can't say SCP-458, the infinite pizza box, which spawns your favorite pizza, because that creates the pizza, but it's the box that's the anomaly. We could go with SCP-871, because it is a bunch of self-replicating cakes, so the cakes are actually the anomaly. The problem becomes that if you eat enough cake, because you have to, obviously you're not going to enjoy cake for much longer. So it seems to me like probably we don't want it to be 871. Well, I guess if you eat enough of anything, then it gets dull. So the cakes could be the answer, because that is an anomalous food. What I really wish is that when you went to the tags and it showed you a list of SCPs, it gave you the titles. In fact, I'm going to submit that to staff and see if there's a formatting way to do that. Because I would love it if it listed the tags, because there are 305 pages on the SkipNet database that are tagged as food. And it could be so many of them that's the tastiest. You know what? I'm going to go with SCP. It doesn't have a number because it's just SCP-Big Egg. SCP Big Egg is the tastiest SCP. Done. Delicious Big Egg. Oh, Zerdrin. I like your thinking with grilled cheeses being the tastiest, but just like the other ones, that's kind of a combination of anomalies, and it's combinations of what they produce, not the anomaly themselves. Although bread Jesus probably does just taste like bread. It is made of bread after all. And milk Jesus/cheeses is, I think, made of dairy. So they would be among the tastier anomalies. Yeah. Okay. I'm with you. I'm with you. Get your agents out of the Department of Defense. Go bother the Department of State. Mr. Jubilant. What agents? What agents are in the Department of Defense? Our agents? We don't have any agents there, undercover, taking all your secrets, getting all the anomalies that you're trying to hide from the Foundation. We don't. That's not how we roll at all. We never have. We never will. We respect you at the Defense Department. You're very strong and powerful and good at containing anomalies and defending the country, and not at all running this place into the ground by the day. Every time you refer to anomalies as it, the serpent's hand gets more angry. From definitely not a hand member. Well, those snakes are just going to have to buckle up, Buttercup, because we are not humanizing the anomalies in the Foundation. It's against protocol. I doubt that the bread isn't stale. Well, I mean, I can't imagine bread Jesus would be as stale. It's a living entity of bread. It must run around, regenerating itself. I mean, the sermons, yawn. You can only hear so much about Wonder Bread and Pepperidge Farm before you start taking a nap. Dr. Sherman, am I the only one who can't look at numbers normally anymore without thinking about an SCP or a site? No, any 3 or 4 digit number I see in public and I immediately go, oh, I wonder what SCP that is. Sometimes you see an SCP number you know and you're like, now I am mimetically triggered by numbers. What a fandom. Is there a way to make your own SCPs? So, Dean, you can make your own SCPs if you're talking about in the sense of being an SCP author and writing your own SCPs on the database. You can definitely do that. You just have to simply join the wiki and do the work to create an SCP that will survive the community vote. That being said, if we're talking about in-universe, then I prefer you didn't, because that's like a lot more work that we have to do, and I'd rather not. I'd rather get to bed at a normal time. So let's not make more anomalies to contain. That's just asking for trouble. Does that make the database an SCP with memetic properties? Oh, Edward, there are so many cases that SkipNet is anomalous in one way or another. It'll baffle you. Out of universe, there's a building near my home with SCP on it, and I freaked the fuck out. Yeah, that happens a lot. On our SCP, they had to ban sending in pictures of Euclid Avenue or SCP on the side of a building, because a lot of people use those 3 letters. Just, is there a way? Yes, Dean, there is a way, but I don't like the fact that you're obsessed with this. You're freaking me out. I need to ask this. Dr. Sherman, can I use you as inspiration for a character in the book I'm writing? I feel like a scientist in my book that acts like you would make scenes with him really fun. Sure. Have fun. Let me know when that comes out or so I can check it out. If I'm in the book in a spiritual sense, that might be pretty cool. Yeah, that could be fun. Just found out no work tomorrow either. Dang, Amber, you living the life right now. All right. Ooh, 300 likes plus, people. Keep hitting that like button. We will recruit more Foundation staff yet. Congratulations. Dude, I love your shows, but I have a concerning news. Dr. Plague Pimp broke out of containment, is on the pimp vibing streak. Please help. Oh, the variants of 049 we find. Oh, the drip and the Riz are intense. That's understandable, but we do need to contain it. So, yes, security will be en route shortly. What's your favorite reality-based SCPs? Cat King, can you elaborate on what you mean by reality-based? I'm not exactly sure what you mean, because everything in the wiki is, at some point, based mildly on reality. There are so many SCPs that fix psychological distress. Why does the Foundation refuse to help SCPs such as SCP-8980? Well, you are definitely looking in a situation, a microcosm of a certain universe of the Foundation that definitely errs more on the cruel side of the cold not cruel mantra. So in that case, it is pretty, yeah, I feel like they could have done more to help out, but also you love to see the darker side of the Foundation. We're not exactly heroes most of the time. We're doing bad things for the greater good. The greater good. Plus, I mean, there were a lot of lies being told by researcher Burns, who all my homies hate Dr. Burns. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a beans on toast on your way past the commissary. I quite literally just woke up. Forgive me, I was trying to recontain 106 last night and several D-class just would not scream. Even in the femur breaker? Wow. What was wrong with those D-class? Were those clones that didn't have mouths? Did you pick D-class that didn't have mouths? What is happening over there? Huh. Dr. Sherman, is the SCP Foundation actively trying to get caught when they name their front companies with the same initials? Hilarious, but no. We need to do that so that our other agents know that they can trust the person who's pulling up, and we need to do it so our enemies know to stay away. Because when it's the hand, when it's the UI useless, when it's the gawk suckers, they see that Stephanie's classy posy sign, and they go, oh, this is Foundation turf. We don't want to mess with that. And they are right to think that. Cat King, you said reality bending is what you meant. So you want to know what my favorite reality bender SCP is? Well, only one of my favorites is a reality bender, and that is the story of SCP-3999. That is definitely my favorite reality bending SCP for the weird ways that story goes and the surreal aspect. SCP-420-J, I want to sleep, but your stream. Well, we are approximately 1 hour and 10 minutes from end of stream, so maybe you should head to sleep. How do you guys get money? Well, Raven, we at the Foundation are privately funded. We are a non-governmental organization. Remember that. We don't work for the government. We don't deal with the government if we don't have to. We are privately funded by some rich, kooky billionaires, maybe the Illuminati, depending on where you're from. Perhaps like the Men in Black, we patent certain scientific discoveries we have discovered in our work and use those to fund things. On the more micro scale, the Foundation sites are all paid based on what kind of anomalies they are containing and researching. We get grants just like any other research firm. And so that's been half the drama with Site 42 in the last couple of months, is that we got our budget cut by the overseers, and then Dr. Moon Moon stole a quarter of our anomalies and defected to a different site, meaning that a quarter of our research budget was just pulled out from under us. So, very frustrating, but we're doing our best. Junior researcher Sally, Dr. Sherman, I made a doodle of you. Oh, cool. I guess I'll look on TikTok, or no, I'll look on Twitter, Threads, or Blue Sky to see if I'm tagged in that in any way. A junior researcher Corvus, yes, Dr. Moon Moon, although it's not spelled like the funny joke meme wolf, it's M-U with the accent N, M with a U with an accent M. So that's not the same. Posted in the Discord. Oh, sweet Jesus. Specifically, I was speaking about milk Jesus when I said that, by the way. Ew, sweet milk. Oh, why did I do that? So here is our, I guess, daily Dr. Sherman doodle. Oh my. I can't say that doesn't look like me. That is pretty straightforwardly correct. Your ability to trap real life in your art is quite exceptional. I do look like a Binding of Isaac character. You're right. Oh, that's great. Hilarious. Funny stuff. How do you access your Discord? Well, Junior Researcher Corvus, before I tell you that, I gotta warn you. I very rarely check the Discord. I am the absent father who went for milk and cigarettes of that Discord server. Life has been so busy in the last couple of years, and so the moderators are doing their best to keep it nice, but I have not been around, unfortunately. But in the meantime, it is in the description of our long-form videos. So you should watch one of our long-form videos. Dr. Sherman, what SCP would destroy Pennywise? Yo, it doesn't take an SCP. 4 kids stopped Pennywise. And then 4 adults, when they came back, they were adults and they stopped Pennywise. So, yeah, I'm not worried about that clown. Ha, literally, that clown. Oh, last thing about the Discord server. Remember, just like the SCP Wiki, you got to be 18 to join. The mods will not let you in if you are underage because we deal with adult themes just like the Wiki does. We can't control things here on YouTube, which is why I try to keep things PG-13. But the fandom is supposed to be an adult writing community for things like that, so just kind of keep track of that. Tim Galbraith, are you gay? I am, well, depending if in-universe, I am asexual, which I guess is on the LGBTQIA spectrum, so if you want to shorten it to gay, I guess, but it's more asexual is a proper term. And that being said, out of character, I am cishet, but I am a theater kid, so I get that a lot. Why are you so familiar? I don't know why. Well, Aladdin, you were probably on SCP TikTok during the pandemic, and then TikTok stopped sharing cosplayers' videos, and so the algorithm was unfriendly. And now you found us again years later, and oh my god, it's that SCP guy. I've been getting that a lot lately. No, it's Theater Man. It's a Theater Man. Never heard anyone say that, but it sounds like a terrible superhero. What do you think of SCP-3143, Murphy Lawden? Aurelius, SCP-3043 is the original article for Murphy Law, and it is one of my favorite stories on the wiki, and that has made Murphy Law one of my favorite characters. Murphy Lawden, I mean, the author is a little lame, I guess, but Murphy is great. So, yes, when I say one of my favorite SCPs is 3043, I secretly mean all of the Murphy Law stories, in case you didn't know that. Is there a bread SCP? Well, Jay, there are a lot of bread SCPs, and that includes, literally, Bread Jesus, a Jesus made out of bread. That is SCP-3305. Bread Jesus. Not kidding. Kronos, thank you for donating again. I have to know how the Foundation would deal with the stuff from Voices of the Void. Specifically, the Wisps and the End is Near. Could be interesting. I have recently heard the first time of this Voices of the Void podcast. I am not necessarily familiar, as in I haven't listened to it, but I do know it, in fact, exists. And therefore, I do not know what those entities are either. You said the Wisps and the End is Near. Entities. Spoilers. Is this a podcast? Or is this a game? Was I thinking of the wrong thing? It's a game. It's not a podcast. I was thinking of something else. Or who knows, maybe it is a podcast. Because there's another one. How old are you? You look like 20. I grew this facial hair and put gray in my hair to look older because I felt like I was too young for an SCP researcher at age 38. And y'all are saying I look like I'm 20? Jesus Christ. Did not work to age myself at all. Okay, well, let's look at these entities real quick. Slapper, Stalker, Anti-Breather, blah, 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 there's so many. Blah, 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 where you at? Blah, 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 trying to find it. Blah, 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 come on, there's too many of these things. Where's the word wisp? Is it on there? Oh, there's a whole category of wisps. So, it seems like the goal with this many of them around is we have to contain the forest and keep people out. Clearly. Jesus. This time, it is Jesus. The gray looks more like a light blonde. Yeah, the highlights faded out down to blonde again. We'll have to get them redone soon. Until then, I'm in my cool surfer phase. Dr. Sherman is my favorite improvisational musician. You just get in the soul of the music, man. You get into the heart of the cards. End is near. Okay, game-ending threats. The end is near. Gives you game over and lets you restart before the game over happened. Randomly found single, purely RNG. So wiping, destroying the drive with the level 3 process, the end is near signal. Okay, so yes, we would just have to clear the signals, delete things. Using artificial intelligence constructs would help us with that. So not too bad, actually. Dr. Sherman, did you know that Pennywise is a girl? Think about it. It can lay eggs, and I think it said so in the books. I know we're not talking about slashes, but I just really like Pennywise. Well, here's the deal. The answer to your query is that Pennywise is not a girl or a boy. It's an it, because it's an anomaly, and we don't humanize the anomalies. They are always its. Anomalies are objects, not people. Amber, shout out for the 5 gifted Site 42 memberships. If you are getting a membership from Amber right now, remember to say thank you. The war against the white names continues. Soon all will be green. Hey, Dr. Sherman, I'm making an SCP comic series. If it does develop further, could I possibly use you as a character? Oh, well, that's even a clearer yes than even earlier, because if you're making an SCP project, then you're obviously following the Creative Commons rules that we have. And that means that Dr. Sherman, who is also a Creative Commons character, would be easy to use. So go for it. Hell yeah. Show me the SCP comic when you make it. I'm interested to see what you do to me. Chaos! Welcome to Level 1 Researchership here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Oh, Dolev, I started graying at 25 along the sides of the back. It's a family trait. I ain't got to worry about that. Is there an existing TTRPG system for SCP? Jay Shefsky, you should check out SCP-7006. It is literally an SCP tabletop game built into the wiki. Enjoy it. Hi, I'm your biggest fan. Well, Lottie Plush, I appreciate your fandom, although I'm not sure if you're the biggest. After all, I was informed that at least in one universe, SCP, hold on, let me get the database number. SCP-5909, which is a crustacean measuring 2.1 light years in length. It is a giant space shrimp. And it had, at one point it had a billboard advertising endless shrimp at Red Lobster. But I heard in some universe it said, Dr. Sherman is Bay, whatever that means. So I'm informed that my biggest fan may in fact be a 2.1 light year long shrimp. So maybe not the biggest, but still, I appreciate you being here. Dr. Sherman, I have bad news for you. Murphy Law was canonically killed by SCP-2747. What? Really? No way. Of course I typed the number backwards. Why would I not type the number the right way? I don't understand SCP-24 or 2747. I see it's a fictional thing that deletes fictional things, and then it goes into a bunch of other stuff. I really just need to sit down and read everything related to this on the Tales, because it comes up a lot. So I need to sit down and figure this out. Let me do Tales Edition for Series 3. $2747. Oh, okay, I see what you mean about Murphy Law here. Okay, I definitely need to check out more of that then. What is the strongest SCP you've ever contained? Well, YouTube watcher, the strongest SCP ever contained is clearly SCP-6101. If you look at the SCP-6101 document, it quite clearly states SCP-6101 is the most powerful SCP. Hard to argue with that. The strongest SCP is clearly made of titanium. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Don't take the bait. Don't take the bait. It's fine. It's fine. Dr. Alpha, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some Doritos on the way past the commissary. Amen. You got any of that radical SCP-420-J left? Oh, you know, I got some of that SCP-420-J going on. And you know, with all these people bringing up 022-J, perhaps a little 420-J is in the docket. Maybe we all need a little relaxation. Maybe we all need a little good time. Jay, you don't have to worry about the missing Annabelle doll. It was discovered in Chicago. It's already back on lockdown. We looked this up earlier in the stream today, actually. Oh, dihydrogen monoxide. Thank you for donating again. Why is there a yellow plushie on my desk? Get that Satan spawn away from me or get me clefs to ukulele. I believe that is quite the proper response to the situation you find yourself in. Yeah, let's get rid of that thing, huh? Put it back in its box. Doctor, not on the shift, please. I can't signal boost while on SCP-420-J. Oh, Krieg, don't worry. We would never make anyone partake against their will. You got to do what you got to do. I didn't do anything. You got to be from the UIU to think titanium isn't the strongest metal. Oh, entropy. Oh, you're so funny. You're so funny. Speaking of music, Dr. Sherman, what's your thoughts on the When Daybreak soundtrack by Camelidea? Camelidea. I've never heard of it, so I don't have thoughts. But since it's an SCP song, we may be able to listen to it on YouTube without being killed by YouTube moderation. Camelidea. January 20th, 2024. Pause the Kevin MacLeod. All right. Let's take a minute to vibe. Oh, by the by, for those talking about showing up to shift late or on time, we are currently about 50 minutes from the end of stream. 50 minutes. It's a fine opening, but I'm not super into it yet. I hope it picks up. Come on. Honestly, obviously no shade to the creator. Making music's hard. I can't make music. But this is just a little too repetitive for me. And it's too flat and electronic. I want more. I want vocals. I want highs and lows. I want the horror in mind here. Sorry, this doesn't do it for me. Just not my vibe, I guess. Dolev, shout out for donating 5 Site42 gift memberships. If you get a membership from Dolev, make sure to say thank you. Hype the new green names. Welcome to the chat. The war against the white names continues. Dolev, thank you for donating again as well. The time in my current location is 23:39. Should I go to sleep? Well, that's pretty late, but it all depends on what you got going on tomorrow. If you got work or you got something to do, then probably you should go to sleep. That is a logical plan. But we are also 45 minutes from the end of stream, so maybe you can fall asleep to the inane ramblings of an SCP researcher teaching people against their will sometimes about the SCP Foundation. I'm thinking about making an SCP fan game using Iris Thompson as the protagonist, and maybe I could include you as a character. Well, including Dr. Sherman as a character is always cool. I'm never going to complain about that. Hell, if you're doing a game that has voice acting, hit me up. We could have some fun with that. But Iris is a tricky one, because essentially you're making a sort of Portal-like game because of the way Iris's abilities would manifest. And so I'm not exactly sure. Although, I am replaying Enter the Gungeon right now because because the sequel's coming out soon, and also because it's a fun game. And there's teleporters that you can activate and then teleport back where you gotta go. What if Iris took a picture of something in the site and then went off somewhere to get something and use that picture to teleport back. And so it would turn out to be a scenario where you're using photographs to bounce around. The fan game would have Ace Attorney gameplay. Oh, so like a visual novel. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah. All right, well, that's even more fun. And then you can have wacky dialogue and stuff. Until Site42 is a large enough platform with enough of like Markiplier's unfathomable money quote amount of income where I can make my own games and finance them, not by making them myself, but by hiring game developers who know what they're doing. Until then, it's just hyping people's games. And we're doing our best with that until we reach the apex of the foundation when it comes to finances, because that kind of thing takes a while. Dr. Sherman, what do you think about the game SCP-5K? Have you tried it yet? Well, yet I have not played it yet. I am working with the team, Afray, behind the scenes on advertising and lore and stuff like that. But I have not played it yet because I know it's a tactical shooter, and I'm usually a single-player gamer. So I like story-based games. I don't often play a lot of team shooters. So I have not tried it yet. Dr. Sherman, ever heard of Warehouse 13? I've seen a couple episodes. It's a very SCP-like show. It's the kind of show I would like to make if I were going to do an SCP TV show of my own. I had this dream where it's like agents in the field picking up anomalies, but then you're dealing with the other groups of interest. So you show up to a town, and so is the GOC, and they're going to nuke the town unless you can get the anomaly in 24 hours or less. That's the kind of show I want to see. The Serpent's Hand and the agents fighting over an anomaly they both want to contain. Or one of my favorite storylines is one of the agents falls for someone who lives in the town, and they go through this whole arc trying to contain the anomaly that's in the town and also saving this girl, and the girl saves him, and they have such a good relationship. That doesn't have to be a girl and a him. It could be a gay thing. It could be I don't care who the characters are. It's just a romantic angle I'm thinking of. Because then at the end of the story, they have to amnesticize her because she's got a cognitohazard that'll erase her mind. And so the main character has to erase her memory. That way, they will never get to be together. And so that's the kind of like different storylines I want to build on in an SCP TV show, where I have time to like do multiple anomalies and scenarios. Oh, are you single? Logan, you're barking up the wrong tree. I am both married to my work and annoyed and asexual. Computer Guy, good to see you in the chat, lurking for a while. Thank you for being a member. And out of character, I am fine. I'm a little tired. Doing an early stream is not in my wheelhouse, but I have the MRI after stream, so wish me luck on that. Gamer, thank you for... Is this your first donation? Second donation? We're nearing the end of stream, and so my mind starts to go blank with who's been here the whole time, Sam Reich style. I think this is your second donation to today's stream. No, it's your first. Okay, grab yourself some grits on your way past the commissary. Just practicing RPGs next to the room that thing is in. Hopefully I don't miss and destroy that thing, because we don't destroy anomalies here. Also, sorry for being late. How much of the live did I miss? So, I know we can't destroy the thing, even though it would be very nice to destroy that thing. And second, we are at approximately 45 minutes left in stream. We've been live for about 2 hours and 15 minutes. Logan, that was a question, not flirting. Okay, good. Okay, good. Thank you for the clarification. Star, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some Kiro Kiro Cola on your way past the commissary. Hey, it's been a bit. I was put in containment because there are now 6 flowers with eyes growing on my back. Thought you might want an update. Yeah, sounds like you need to be studied. Good luck. Hopefully we can non-anomalize you. Okay, things I am not in the chat for 500. Are you my dad? I am not your dad, your father, your daddy or zaddy, to my knowledge. I am unrelated to you, pretty princess. Lee, are cats anomalies? Oh, God, I thought you were saying, am I a cat anomaly? That's not the question. No, cats are not anomalies, although there are a lot of anomalous cats, so there is that. This is my first time joining a stream, so hello. If Edward Scissorhands was an SCP, what would it/he be classified as? I think safe because he's so innocent. Yeah, I don't... Well, first of all, Komodo for life. No living, thinking anomaly is safe class. Because any living anomaly might eventually try to think its way out of containment. It might try to escape. So because Edward Scissorhands is alive, it is a Euclid class. But because I don't think it could breach a regular containment cell very well, it is not going to be Keter. It's just going to be Euclid. Gavin, please, Dr. Sherman, tell me what that jingle you hum is. I can't think of it. If you're talking about at the beginning of streams, then you would be talking about the Gravity Falls theme song. Foxpax & Co., thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a hot slice of pizza on your way past the commissary. Oh dear, Dr. Sherman, we got an issue here. The Global Occult Coalition has found out about the whole Freddy situation. We were able to beat back a few of their attacks, but we took heavy losses. We need backup. Oh no! We are not letting those gawk suckers steal another anomaly from us. I am rallying the troops. Attention, team. Gawk suckers at Freddy's. Violence is the answer. Send. All right, you'll have backup soon enough. Also on the topic of games, have you played Inscription? If you haven't, play the game first, then look it up. I literally cried during the ending. It was amazing. So Junior Researcher HLG, I have heard of it, and I have watched playthroughs. I have not played it myself, but I've watched and done all the lore deep dives. Very interesting stuff. Wait, Dr. Sherman, ute my favorite. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Glad to see ya. GOC rules, literally Batman. You can bite one for all I care. Absolutely, the GOC does not rule. They, in fact, blow. They suck. They eat big ones. Sir, the child breaker is starting to scare me. Can I be transferred to a different SCP? Thank you. Why is the child breaker scared? Are you a child? If you're a child, why are you here? Even if you work for the SCP Foundation because you are a child working in the educating yourself at the SCP Academy because your parents are staff, that still should not be, you should not be here. Did you steal your parents' phone? We're dealing with adult situations here. Terry, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a tomato juice on your way past the commissary. Hey, is there an SCP in Kentucky? I keep missing time and spelling scotch. Spelling scotch? That's a strange symptom of an anomaly. Let me... SCP Kentucky. On the database. 957 is in Kentucky. 3250, no, that's Kentucky Fried Chicken. 1351 is located in Kentucky. So yeah, there's a couple anomalies in Kentucky. Be careful. Hello, Dr. Sherman. I hope you remember me. Probably not, as you never reply to my messages. My apologies, team. There's a over 100, maybe 200 people in chat at a given time. I do my best, I promise. But I have been wondering, after my retirement, any new anomalies that were... Can you please name any new anomalies that were contained after 2024? Yep, I thought it might make your name disappear if I scrolled the chat even at all. Frickin' A. So, anomalies contained after 2024. I mean, there's tons of them, especially if we go into anomalous database entries that we have from the future. But to find them specifically, I can't think of any off the top of my head. I mean, I would definitely check the 8000s because they're newer, so the likelihood that they would be contained more recently is very high. I am bored. Does Site 42 say trans rights? Hell yeah. Trans people are awesome. The SCP Foundation is an LGBTQIA inclusive fandom. And if you don't like that, you can kick rocks. I hate this guy's face so much. Yeah, I would be jealous too if I got this face looking at me when I have a face like yours. I would be super sad and angry too, so my condolences. Dr. Sherman, have you ever heard of the Eat the Rich fish? I forgot its item number, but it's very funny. You very much might have heard it on my channel specifically, because I do have a video of the Eat the Rich Fish document. It is SCP-8271, and we dropped that just back in March, so maybe you heard it from us. Terry McBride, thank you for donating again. Trans rights for the win. Hell yeah. Pride Month is coming up in a couple of days. And if you guys know any LGBTQ themed SCPs, I want to try and highlight one a day during our daily streams. So I'm making a list, and when we reach the, and then once a day while we're doing our normal chat, I will throw out a SCP for everyone to read afterwards. But, like, don't say them in the chat now because I'm never going to remember them from the chat now. I have tweets on Threads, Blue Sky, and Twitter where you can reply to them and tell me those ones if you want them. If you want to tell me to them. That way I can go check them. Dr. Sherman, can you and the Foundation beat death from Final Destination? Interesting. I would assume probably not, because the likelihood of that anomaly being activated is not very common. So we wouldn't get a lot of time to practice it, and it's almost as if we would arrive on the scene to find the dead bodies in a particular weird situation after the fact of their deaths. So we would probably mark it as an SCP phenomena, but we wouldn't say it's contained. Dr. Sherman, are there any SCPs that look similar to Wendigos, if I spelled that right? Well, there are two of them specifically. A lot of people mix up Wendigos and Skinwalkers, which are two different anomalies to my knowledge. And I'm not very familiar with the difference of them in lore of the native peoples who tell the real stories about them. But I do know that we have a SCP called the Wendigo Skull, which is SCP-323. And we have the SCP Skinwalker, which is 2750. So those are our versions of these things. I'm not very well versed in the anomalies outside of the wiki versions. Dr. Sherman, I've noticed that you don't have a lot of fan art. I'm going to fix that by making silly fan art of you. That is hilarious, Junior Researcher Sally. I appreciate it greatly, especially based on your last piece. That was hilarious. Do you mind if I share them on the social medias afterwards? I like spreading out good art and fun art and goofy times, so if that's something you're interested in, let me know. And if there's anywhere I can tag you to support you as an artist in the same way. Dr. Sherman, is there any on-site fast food? The McDonald's and the Pentagon song is stuck in my head. Yes, we do have off-brand commissary restaurants like WickDonald's, Burger Queen, and all that in the commissary as well. So you can get your off-brand faves if you're craving that particular flavor. Junior Researcher Sally, consent is given, I see. If you have a tag, you can leave it in the Discord next to your art, and I will go from there if you want me to tag you anywhere. God, some people get so upset when the SCP Wiki changes their logo for Pride Month because it doesn't make sense in universe. It's so dumb. Yeah, what are you going to do? Haters are haters. You just got to let them live their lame lives and ignore them when they cry. Thoughts on the Shark Punching Center? Chaos, they are very fun to watch. It is a pretty fun time watching them in action. Plus, every time someone puts a typo into the chat, so I get to bring up the Shark Punching Center instead, is always a laugh. Foxpax, thank you for donating again. Before I forget, tell the team to ensure that they got IFF tags on. Otherwise, there's a greater than 0% chance they might get shot by the aircraft I got circling the area. Oh. Okay, serious business. I'll let them know. How much longer until this stream is done? We are in the last 30 minutes, people. We are 28 minutes from the end of stream. Dr. Sherman, if you find the person who had a vision of death from Final Destination, would they be labeled as an SCP-1? Yes, they would be a -1 or a -A for the main death anomaly in that case, for sure. Dr. Sherman, are there any Dream Core SCPs? Mr. Scrabble, I do not know what this word Dream Core means. This is new information to me, and I'm going to slowly and safely look at what this is. Dreamcore is a surreal aesthetic that evokes a sense of dreamlike nostalgia and uncanny, often using liminal spaces, nostalgic imagery, and surreal landscapes. Well, I would guess that a lot of things like that exist in the Foundation verse, although I don't know that they would be exactly classified like that. While I continue to look into it, where did you get your lab coat? Phantasmic Jenny. Just as a small tangent, never buy a costume lab coat. When I was getting ready to get set up to do this cosplay shtick online, I went to get myself an SCP lab coat, and what I discovered is that at the time, Rick Sanchez lab coats were going for Halloween at the time I was getting started. And they were something like $45 back like 6-7 years ago. They were running for like $45, and they were very crappy quality in the first place. Meanwhile, what I actually did is I went to a medical supply store where they sell lab coats along with nursing scrubs and stuff like that. And I just got a real lab coat. It was only like $25. And it's much higher quality, better stitching and all that. And then I went to my buddy, Toad King Studios, on Etsy. Toad King is our #1 SCP merch guy. Makes all sorts of iron-on badges, Velcro badges, nameplates, just all sorts of printables. This SCP Foundation Personnel of the Month coffee mug is care of Toad King Studios. Hashtag not sponsored, just a good friend of the guy. So yeah, I got a real lab coat from a medical supply store. And then I prefer the iron-on patches because they're permanent. Some people like being able to swap off the patch with Velcro, but I think it makes it too chunky. Okay, tangent aside, real quick, let me finish the question I was answering before, which is, are there any SCPs that fall into the category of Dream Core? So, Vaporwave, Liminal Spaces, Dream Core. This person on Reddit is asking, let's see what they get. You might like stuff from Vikander Need Technical Media, a group of interest that focuses on anomalous television shows. Pretty good group. There's SCP-5470. Haven't gone through the whole thing yet, and this already looks just like what I was looking for. Thank you very much. All right, so that's probably got the Vaporwave vibe. This is a bit of a tricky subject because the vibes of SCPs are a lot harder to find than just the subject matter. So I apologize, that's not where I'm at. Pretty Princess, you are always allowed to make fan art of Dr. Sherman. And then if you tag me on Instagram, I might not find it. I don't use that very often. But the Twitter, Threads, and Blue Sky, I check all the time. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. Just a little bit. We appreciate the vibes. Dr. Shepard, excuse me, this is not Grey's Anatomy. Do not put that on me. I want to survive a car crash. That's why I do not go driving with Dr. Gerald, thank you. What about TikTok? Do you check TikTok? Yes, I do check that. Not as often as the others, but I do check it from time to time. Hey, Dr. Sherman, what would you do if the veil of normalcy broke, like immediately afterwards? Oh, well then we will have to go into Broken Masquerade protocols. It would be a very big hassle, and I would not like it. Dr. Sherman, are you anomalous in any way? Me? Anomalous? No, I'm just a simple hometown SCP researcher and site director. I am not anomalous in any way whatsoever. I can't even imagine such a thing. That's crazy. Dr. Sherman, what's your advice for someone who wants to get into writing SCPs and stuff similar but doesn't know how or what to do? The most important thing you can do is practice writing. You need to outline your stories. You need to practice writing, just putting pen to paper, writing whatever bullshit you can come up with. Just practice writing it, and then write some more stuff, and then write some more stuff. That's your first lesson. Now take writing classes, take reading classes, English major stuff, like that. Secondarily, read a lot of SCPs. You want to get to the point where you understand the format really intrinsically, because the SCP format is very limiting. So you want to make sure that you do not... stifle yourself on the hurdle that is the SCP format. Then you can read all the guides and the essays on the SCP Wiki, because the guides and the essays are written by SCP authors wanting to help other writers, so the information there is clutch. So read all that. Read everything. Practice your writing. That's the best thing I can tell you. Oh, and make friends in the SCP community. Hang out in SCP Discord servers, join the wiki and hang out in the forums. Get to know people, write nice comments that are well thought out on the SCPs in their discussion pages. Make yourself a presence, make people know you, critique people's articles, and they will critique yours in turn. It's how you get involved in the community. You insert yourself gently, kindly, lovingly. Don't clip that. SCP-96, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. I don't know how a crying shy guy got a cell phone and or knew the language to type this in, but I'm not going to argue. We'll bring you a bite from the commissary. Just stay put. I escaped the cell, but I have a question. What is the most dangerous SCP, and are there anomalous researchers? There are a lot of anomalous researchers. I mean, not me, of course. I'm just a normal, everyday site director, that's all. But there are anomalous researchers like Dr. Clef, for instance. Following that, the most dangerous SCP is obviously and clearly SCP-6101. If you read its description, the first line of the description is SCP-6101 is the most powerful SCP. Obviously, that could be dangerous. It's the most dangerous because it's the most powerful. Clearly. Joshua, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some Buta butt on your way past the commissary. Simone the Digger from Gurren Lagann versus the Scarlet King. Oh, my browser reset. See this epic music? It actually fits for a Simone versus Scarlet King fight, so there's that. I'm gonna go with my boy Simone. As a common cosplayer, I am obviously biased. And yes, the drill pierces the heavens, bro. Scarlet King never stood a chance. Sean, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a crepe on your way past the commissary. Hello, Doc. I'm back from my expedition in Manistee. Please take me off of river duty. I flipped my kayak 3 times. I'm sorry. Oh, well, welcome back. And, hey, swimming is very good for your cardio. So you practice your swimming. That was exactly what you needed. I do just want to point out that the likes are over double the viewers. Oh, dang, Site42. Well, computer guy, you're almost right because the viewer count jumped up. So you got to hit that like button because we're at almost 400 likes. And with 20 minutes left in the stream, we got to get that quick. What if all coffee became sentient? How would you contain or another option? Raptor Gaming. The real question is, how do you know that all coffee isn't sentient? We already know, thanks to real-life science, that grass and trees scream when they are damaged. That's why SCP-4521 is so anomalous, because it doesn't scream. It's the only tree that doesn't scream. So that's why we need to make it scream. But tangent aside, you don't know that the coffee isn't sentient already. It's just a liquid. How would it talk? What vector would it tell us what it's feeling? What way could the coffee portray to you the feelings of you drinking it, slowly or quickly, every single day? It could be. You never know. You look like the guy from Lilo and Stitch. Which guy from Lilo and Stitch? I'm a little confused. Are you a member of Site 19? Well, you're a member of Site 19, but my site is obviously Site 42. It's in the title of the stream. Did I not teach you how to read over at Site 19? Come on, son. Popped in to drop my like. Sorry I can't stay. You cutie patootie Dr. You. Aw, shucks. Well, thank you for stopping by. SCP-96, thank you for donating again. SCP-053, please explain it, and I stole the phone. Well, 053 is a child. And it is a child that if you hang out long enough around it, you get the intrinsic urge to kill the child. We don't know why there's an intrinsic want to kill the child, but we've got to keep people away from the child so they don't try to kill the child. That's all. It's not that complicated. Do you study any anomalies in and digital realms such as video games of sorts? Oh, definitely. Definitely a lot of anomalies are digital in nature. That comes up a lot. For instance, SCP-5045 is a video game that sucks you in, so that's a digital world. Not YouTube. I meant Minecraft is containing a god right now, so that kind of counts. Jumba, but when he's in the human disguise on the realistic one. Huh. I don't remember Jumba's human disguise. Are you talking about the live action? And is that Zach Galifianakis? I haven't seen the live action one yet. Sean, thank you for donating again. Jokes aside, I am back from a long camping trip and did flip my kayak 3 times. The water was frigid. Northern Michigan for you. Oof. Yeah, that sounds about right. I have enjoyed some good canoeing in my day. Never done a kayak before. Okay, so you are talking about the realistic Lilo and Stitch. I'll have to take a look at pictures of that a little closer later. But they must be a particularly handsome guy if they look like this mug, I tell you what. Dr. Sherman, what is your favorite ocean-based SCP? I don't know that I have a favorite ocean-based SCP. So I'm going to go with the one that makes me the most disgusted instead. SCP-835 is horrifying. Horrifying. Very gory. Very gross. 835 is my favorite ocean-based SCP because it is woof rough. It'll make you feel things all right. By the way, staff, we have 12 minutes left on this stream. 12 minutes left, so get your good questions in quick. Got places to be afterwards. Dark Red, thank you for being a member and using your member message. How would the void from Thunderbolts be contained? Well, I haven't seen the movie, but what I feel like the answer is hugs. That's the answer, isn't it? Get it a therapist? I believe that's what it is. If you're in a universe, will you be safe from Shy Guy? Well, you would be safe as long as a door didn't open to that universe. Because if a door did open, 096 would find it, come through it, and get you. which is the same person who asked about SCP-096 in the back rooms. Yeah, it'd be lost for a while, but if anyone saw its face outside the back rooms, 096's senses would give it a direct line to any portals or no-clip areas that would let it out. So that's why we don't store things in the Infinite IKEA, because they're gonna find a way out. What should I do if I, quote, hypothetically let a, quote, couple of SCPs out of their containment? Well, you should be our newest D class. That's what it should be. I mean, hypothetically. If that's what hypothetically happened. Yep. What's the scariest SCP in your opinion? Today I'm going to say 2718. 2718 freaks me out, because we don't even know if that's not real or not. What is your favorite SCP? Black Love, my favorite SCPs. I say them at the end of every stream, and that is only 10 minutes from now, so stick around. I'll tell you my favorite SCPs in about 10 minutes. It's kind of an end of stream tradition. Dr. Sherman, is Springtrap an SCP? Springtrap is anomalous, that's for sure, but because it's not on the SCP database, it's not an SCP. Anytime it is an anomaly from a different fandom, because we don't steal from other fandoms, that's wrong, and we're Creative Commons, we wouldn't do that. So the answer is always going to be, it's anomalous, but it's not an SCP. Because it's not an SCP unless it's on the database. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. Good luck, hope all is well. Today's stream has been such a good vibe today by Sherman. Well, fare thee well, glad to hear it. And yeah, I'll go get that MRI done. Hopefully my ankle is well on the way to recovery. That would be nice. Hey, Dr. Sherm, I just barely made it to this stream. How's today been? Any new findings? Well, the forest dies. If I were to summarize today's stream in a couple words, it would be afraid of the Vorhole. The new Dr. Sherman Crash Out just dropped, and it's 022-J again. And other than that, we chill. In a story I'm writing involving a space mage, spatial distortions can trick you, but can't trick vector math. Oh, so they're illusions, but they don't actually alter reality. Interesting. Is your mom in an SCP? My mother is not in an SCP. Mojitos. I must ask, SCP-1471 perhaps, quote, breedable? Just curious, no reason. Listen here, you demon dater, you monster. You know it is against protocol to fraternize with the anomalies. I see your games. I see your pretend hypotheticals. You can play coy, but I know what you are, and you will not fraternize with the anomalies. O51, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a hoagie on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Sherman, just passing by to tell you, I'm making a cameo of you, Clef, and Desk in the future intro of my Minecraft series, at least when I manage to record it. Oh, very cool. I look forward to seeing that little thing show up. Show me what you got when you get it. Foxpax, thank you for donating again. I didn't miss it, I promise. Oh crap, Dr. Sherman, the GOC called in APCs and we have no anti-armor weapons. What the hell do they want this badly for? All right, I'm going to requisition you a powerful anomaly to do what you need to do. Whatever you do, do not tell the overseers, I gave this to you. Get those gawksuckers. Amber, thank you for your member message. I hope your test today is everything you need. Fingers crossed, I would really like to be able to walk more than 5 to 10 minutes a day. It would be very blessed. Dark Red, gifting a Site 42 membership. Thank you for your service. If you are the one who got that membership, make sure you thank Dark Red for your generous gift. Dr. Sherman, silly doodle of you just dropped. Oh my word. That's hilarious. I will share this silly doodle since it's in a place where I can easily see it. So turn it around and pop up. That is adorable. That is pretty funny right there. Do not blend the doctor. Yes, please. How many SCP sites are underground, if any are, or if all are? Different SCP sites have different buildups. For instance, Site 42 does have an above-ground campus, as well as the underground levels. So it's just based on whatever site it is. I don't have a mock-up for how many have underground facilities versus don't. I mean, obviously, we do not have basements in Florida, because you're not able to build basements in Florida. So sites that are in Florida do not have them. Foxpacks & Co., thank you for donating again. No kidding, you better get disinformation ready. You bet. 051, I see you, Dr. Sherman. Don't do shit-a-majig in my back. No, you didn't see anything. I'm just handling a containment breach scenario. The GOC is trying to steal our stuff, and I'm just handling it. You're fine. You're fine. Site 42 is not in Florida, Junior Researcher Corvus. I was just mentioning different SCPs, sites that are located in Florida. As well, I am born and raised in Florida, so Dr. Sherman is a Florida man. There is that. Let me see something real quick. So you wrestled a gator then? Listen, I don't like to brag, but it is something we all have to go through as youths. You just have to. It's part of life in Florida. What are we going to do? Tretji, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a ice pop on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Sherman, I made myself into an SCP I can fly. You'd better have authorization for that. You better not have done that on a whim without authorization. That's against protocol, and you know it. You will have to deal with disciplinary if that is the case. First stream, do you do this every day? Hive Master Landos, we do, right now, a stream every day. Somewhere between 30 minutes to 3 hours, depending on my schedule for that day. We never know what time it's going to be, and so make sure you hit the bell so that you hear when we go live, because you do not want to miss that if you can help it. 051, thank you for donating again. The fact that you're a Florida man warrants containment, but I let it slide this time, and that guy doesn't have authorization to be a flying entity. Good to know about the flying entity problem, and as well, I mean, you knew I was a Florida man when I signed up. Come on. This was talked about in extreme measures because you guys want to make sure I wasn't going to throw a Molotov cocktail at the overseer's yacht, for instance. All right, and that is the 3-hour mark on the dot. We are done with today's stream. Today's office hours are complete. Oh, another donation. Yes, your pal Mystery. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a appetizer of bread and olive oil on your way past the commissary. Someone has misplaced the pathogen. If you feel funny inside and want snuggles, that's not touch starvation. That's the pathogen. Return it immediately. That's not good. I don't like that. All right, biological agent on the field. Make sure you are taking proper procedures to protect yourself. So, at the end of every stream, I tell you my favorite SCPs. It's a little tradition we have around here. Now, my favorite SCPs, I'm not going to tell you the ones I wrote. That's cheating. Of course I love my SCPs. But instead, if you want to read the SCPs I wrote and or contributed something to, you can go to the Sherm's author page in Site 42 Hub on the SCP Wiki proper. There are all my SCPs as well as support links. If you want to become a Site 42 patron, you can get early access to Site 42 for as little as $1 a month. I go cheap over there because you don't get the YouTube benefits. If you're a member here on the YouTube channel instead, level 1, you get your badges, your emojis, and your green name, and your member messages. And if you go level 2 or higher, that's when you get early access. I try to balance out the two platforms because some people have one, some people have the other. So I try to do my best to be fair. From there, even if you cannot directly donate to Site 42, you are still appreciated because you do the YouTube things like liking, sharing, subscribing, and of course, being a member of Mobile Task Force Psi 42, codename The Signal Boosters. How do you join Mobile Task Force Psi 42, codename The Signal Boosters? By saying you're one. And by when I share an SCP film or game project, either made by me or by some other SCP community creator, you share that thing far and wide. That way more people see it, because even if you can't directly donate, we might signal boost it to someone who can donate like $1,000 to the project. And so the more we help each other out, the better the SCP community is. That's the #1 goal of the day. Ours is the community that will pierce the heavens. So without further ado, favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and with a big content warning, SCP-8980. That one's rough. One more time through, 3999, 3043, 008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, and trigger warning, 8980. Rough one. So with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's Office Hours stream, a subsidiary of the Anomalous broadcast from Site 42. I've been Dr. Theron Sherman. You guys are the best chat on YouTube. Make sure to be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you all in the next stream or video. Some were there speaking, it's already coming in. Oh, and it's rising at the back of your mind. You never could get it unless you were fed it. And now you're here and you don't know why. But under skin knees and the skid marks, past the places where you used to learn, you howl and listen, listen and wait for the echoes of angels who won't return. He is everything you want, he is everything you need, he is everything inside of you that you wish you could be. He says all the right things at exactly the right time, but he means nothing to you and you don't know why.